Hey there, everyone. Thanks for joining us again. I am back with Curt Soloff. Hey, Curt.
Hey, Bashir, how's everything on the other side of the Pacific Ocean?
Everything's all right. As is often the case, I struggled with a hand recently. I think it's the second the situation I dread second most, which is defending 1-0 Trump. I dread playing in 1-0 Trump the most, but defending against 1-0 Trump, I often feel so overwhelmed keeping track of everything. This was a random hand played recently on BBO with strangers. It was automated fun, and did my best, but then at the end saw that other partnerships brought down the contract, and thought maybe I could ring up our maestro of defense and see if maybe you could give us some pointers, talk through the thought process, see if we missed any opportunities to be able to stop this contract.
Yeah, let's see what we can do with this one. And you are absolutely right. Your dread is well founded. 1-0 is a difficult contract to defend, and well, as you mentioned, it can be a difficult contract to play, especially if the defense doesn't give you some help.
Well, all right, let's jump right in. I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who really struggles with this. Yeah, so I've removed the names, but I was sitting north, and we'll follow your commentary and your advice and see how things go.
Yeah, absolutely. So so South is on lead, and look, you're holding the North cards. You are going to have very limited control over what the defense can do because, well, your hand's not that great. So we'll see what happens here. The opening lead was a heart. I think the heart lead is totally reasonable here. I'm a little curious why it was the 6. I guess your partner maybe leads 3rd and 5th against no Trump rather than 4th. I typically lead 4th best, which is more standard. But a heart nevertheless, which works out pretty well because you have the queen. So certainly always helpful when you find partner with an honor in the long suit you've led. And I noticed here at trick 1 that Declare did not take the ace. I think Declare kind of gave the show away here about what was happening in the heart suit. And yeah, often it's a good idea to hold up an ace when you're declaring 1-0 if they are attacking a suit that you're weak in. The problem is when they don't win the ace and the jack falls, the cat's kind of out of the bag, right? That sure looks like exactly ace jack doubleton. And so you wisely continued the suit here to knock out Declare's ace. And we see here with your partner still holding the king 10 of hearts, as soon as your partner gets in, those hearts are winners, right? So we've done our job there.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. And we see that East is going to play his, we'd call this his free suit, I suppose. He's always got 4 diamond winners, right? So it looks like he's going to go ahead and take his diamond winners and make you discard here, starting with the 2nd diamond. And
this is just to make us sweat a little bit, see what information he can get from our discards.
To some degree, East maybe wants to try and put a little pressure on the defense. And look, we can debate whether or not this is what he should be doing right away. But okay, that's the line that Declare chose here. And since you started with a singleton diamond, I often talk about the 2 most important signaling opportunities.
Yeah.
Trick 1 is a signaling opportunity if you're not trying to win the trick. Well, you didn't get to signal at trick 1. Remember, you had to play 3rd hand high and put up your queen of hearts. So this here is your best signaling opportunity because you're out of diamonds. So the question is, what do you pitch? All right, you pitched a spade. So if you're playing standard signals, your 2 says, partner, I don't like spades. So this could be helpful to your partner to suggest, if he gets the lead, maybe he should play you for a club card, since you said you didn't like spades, right? Now, sometimes you have choices with your signaling. Depends what spot cards you're dealt. This hand here, if anything, even though your hand's not very good, you do get to signal clearly, right? So you have choices of spot cards in both black suits, right? You've got big spot cards, small spot cards in both. If you wanted to be a little more violent with your signal and really try to emphasize that you'd like partner to play a club, you might have pitched your 9 of clubs here. You can probably afford it. Now, it is remotely possible that that 9 could cost a trick. I'm not going to say on some deals that signaling with it can't be costly. I'm ashamed to admit that there have been many occasions where I have signaled with cards that could have taken tricks.
And I think that was my exact fear. I also the queen, not knowing how helpful it might be. I just thought, okay, I'm gonna leave the clubs alone. All I know is that I don't like the spades, but it seems like maybe could we have done better if I had let partner know that I had a decent club?
Maybe, but as we're going to see how this thing develops here, you actually still have an opportunity to beat 1-0, even without clarifying that you have an honor in clubs. So let's see. What did Declare? Played a couple more diamonds, ending in hand. And then exited with the queen of spades. And your partner won the king. Understandably cashed his 2 heart winners. And
maybe you'll have to play. It looks like the next button. Click on the play button.
Oh, there we go. Got to click play again.
There we go.
Yeah, and then yes, that was the answer to the problem. You just quit defending and give up right there, right?
Right.
because as you said, you dread defending 1-0, and you finally just reached your limit, right? And you quit before the hand's even over.
That's it. I'm out.
All right. No, don't do that. Fight to the bitter end. Let's see here. I got, all right. I'm going to pick some cards here. I think this is what Declare did. All right. So when we got to this point, and this is where South has a crucial decision to make. Now, you may have noticed that East had 15 points, had the minimum 1-0 opener, right? But we know that East could have up to 17 for that 1-0. Is it possible from South's perspective that East has both the ace and queen of clubs? Yeah, that's possible. I think South can be confident that East has the ace, just so that that hand has enough points to have opened a no trump in the first place. So the real question is, where's the queen of clubs? Well, what happened was that South went ahead and cashed the other spade. But I think what South wants to do, because you're going to be, if East has the ace and queen of clubs, isn't South going to be end played anyhow? I mean, sure, you can cash the ace of spades, but now you're going to be stuck leading a club anyway, right? So South shouldn't cash the ace yet. And that's what happened at your table here when the hand actually got played. And that had the effect of setting up East Jack, which ended up being the 7th trick, allowing 1-0 to make. But
I this is something I know I do all the time, usually around the panic moment of defending, especially when I just think I'm going to get the short tricks I can now because I don't want to lose them later on.
Understandable. But what South wants to be thinking here is, well, I'm going to have to play a club anyhow after I play the ace of spades. So I should actually play the club first, because if my partner, North, has the queen, I can force out the ace. And then when East gives up the lead to the ace of spades, I've established 2 club winners.
Cool. Can you play that through? Show us what that looks like.
Yeah. So I would go ahead and lead small, because rather than an honor, because again, we are playing you for the queen. We're hoping that you have the queen. There's room for you to have it, and you'll play third hand high. And of course, if East ducks this, then you can just return another club. If East wins it, well, what happens now?
Whatever they send back, South is going to take it.
Exactly. If they send back, and they should probably play back the club. I said they can play the small spade because South started with ace king doubleton. And then now these clubs are established. And the idea and the thing to recognize here is it didn't cost South anything to play the club first.
So cool.
If East had ace and queen of clubs, then South was legitimately end played at that point, and East was always going to make 1-0. And that is one of the tougher things to recognize on defense, to reach that point to where you say, okay, well, I'm going to be stuck, so I need to go ahead and make this play. Either it works or it doesn't, but we no longer have any control about what the defense can do at that stage of the hand anyhow.
So again, just returning back to sitting North, there wasn't much I could do with such a weak hand, but if South could have had a better sense that I had that club, did I miss a chance then to encourage South to play the club suit? Or is it really something that with such a weak hand, just in a way, letting partner know what my weakest suits are is the best way to go?
Yeah, I mean, you can go either direction. I think it's probably, look, but defense, much like bidding, defense is about partnership communication, and you're trying to figure out what's the most important message to send. I think with the North hand, I would be inclined to try and show partner that I have an honor, because South may be very reluctant to lead away from a king into a 1-0 bidder unless he believes you have something in the suit. And if he thinks you have either the queen or the ace, and we said, okay, realistically, there's not room for you to have the ace, but there is room for you to have the queen. And if the easiest, clearest message you can send is to throw an encouraging card for clubs, then maybe that's the best thing to do, right? And look, when we come down to the end game, we want to talk as partners and say, hey, what could I have done? What could you have done? This is all about having a nice dialogue on defense, the same way we would during the auction.
Curt, thank you so much. Your insight, your guidance is very much appreciated, especially in tricky hands to defend like this one. Thank you, Curt. Appreciate it.
Anytime, Bashir.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Keep learning with Curt. As you can see, he's just an incredible teacher. We're so lucky to be able to learn from him. Thanks for your support. We'll see you next video. Bye, Curt. Thanks.